Today in Activist Corner, we're going to be talking to Darren Chambers, who is a worker for British Gas, a member of the GMB, and is involved in the strike action. And I'd just like to say also that I know a lot of Darren's colleagues have come on to watch this show. So I want to welcome all of you and give you all a big message of solidarity. Thanks for coming to watch. And I hope that this little part of our show can help spread the word, and that all of our audience will help by doing the things we're going to talk about in a minute. But first of all, Darren.
Good morning, Libby, and thank you for letting us come on. Yeah, this is the last resort. None of us want to be losing money. We've got 16 days in total. Most of us are going to be at least 10 days financially worse off. So, yeah, this is, for us, the last throw of the dice. What happened back in March, obviously last year, COVID happened. The company come to us and said, look, we all need to work together. We're going to furlough some engineers. We're going to do a lot of work for the Trust, and we're only going to go into, obviously, extremely vulnerable customers. So we started that. We had our MD, Matthew Bateman, come onto a video and pour his heart out. We actually got emotional, started crying, thanking us for what we were doing. But behind the scenes, they were tearing up our terms and conditions. Around June time, they come to the union to say we need to change the terms and conditions for everybody, the whole company, so 20-odd thousand employees. They then said to the GMB, Unite in Unison, that wanted to negotiate, that they had to file a Section 188 notice, which is pretty much putting a loaded gun to the union's head by saying, if we don't like the route that these negotiations are going down, come April the 1st, anyone that hasn't signed the new contract will be fired and rehired. So you've gone into negotiations with a loaded gun held to your head. And that's where the position is. We are now. 86% of engineers voted unanimously to take industrial action and reject the contract. The company has come back with statements. No one's come out on television or radio from the company. They've issued a statement, which is their two main facts, which is 82% of the workforce have signed up to these new terms. Now, depending on what branch of British Gas or Centrica you're in, you're not really as affected. So from a service and repair side or a field-based worker, which is what I am, we're heavily hit. It's an increase of hours of 156 over the year, which is the equivalent of working an extra month. It's a reduction in holiday. It's a 3-year pay freeze. It's less London waiting. If you work around London, you get an allowance. That's going to get reduced or even cut completely. It's an increase in core hours. There's not one positive to this contract, and this contract wasn't something that we wanted. We didn't come to the company and ask for more money. We didn't say we wanted more holiday. We were happy going as we were. What's interesting to point out as well is British Gas actually, or Centrica actually, got furlough money, between 65 and 75 million pounds worth of taxpayers' money. And in that time, they made a 27% increase in profits, equivalent of 229 million. So for the first 6 months of 2020, they got taxpayers' money for furlough and made 27% more profit. Which is crazy. What they've chosen to ignore is that 86% rejected the proposals. They then tried to divide and conquer by emailing, calling all individuals to try and say to them, this is the best deal, this is the only deal, and if you don't sign, you'll be fired and rehired on an even worse deal. They then put enhancements of £2,000 if you agree by Christmas, and now it's if you agree by the 5th of February, you'll get your enhanced London waiting. Matthew Bateman, who's the MD for British Gas, actually sent a letter out to everyone on the 23rd of December saying that there's no better deal, and that they've started recruiting for engineers. They advertised 600 roles and they had 2,000 applicants for them roles. So that's 2 days before Christmas. He's pretty much saying to us that we're going to replace you already. And now they've come up with the latest statement that was put on the LBC on Friday, is that they're saying that engineers are very well paid to the tune of £40,000. And what are we moaning for? Even to the point where David House describes us as an average workforce. Now, firstly, I'd like to say that we're a highly skilled workforce, and I'm sure Mr. O'Shea or David House wouldn't be able to fix their own boiler, and pretty much any of the leadership team wouldn't be able to. Secondly, I'd say that people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, as if I was paid £700,000 with a pot of £1.2 million worth of shares at today's value, I think that I possibly think I was overpaid. Does he honestly warrant 19 times our salary? Does he bring that worth to the company? As myself as an engineer on an engineer's salary, I think I could do just as good a job as messing this company up. Between 2015 and 2019, we lost 3 million customers. In the same period, £31 million was paid to the senior leadership team, and our share price tumbled 75%. The main difference between myself and Chris O'Shea is I actually listen to the customers. We are the ears to the ground. Our loyal customers don't want to pay a premium price and get an inferior service. They don't want someone at the Yellow Pages turning up in a car to fix their boiler. They want a skilled workforce in a blue British Gas van. It's just a shame there isn't a performance management process for the managers. What doesn't help is the lack of support we're getting from the media. The Daily Mirror has been fantastic, and LBC have been fantastic, the same as you guys giving us a platform. But comments from Jacob Rees-Mogg on Friday referencing Lord Shaftesbury as some kind of conservative figurehead for the current workers' rights, when you have to go back 160 years to find someone in your party who supports workers, surely something's wrong, and they're scraping the barrel.
Thank you, Darren, for such a in-depth description of what they've been doing to you, which is obviously despicable, and obviously what it's been like for you. And to me, I mean, there's a certain, some things that just really jump out at me as so unfair, and the fact that they're doing this under a pandemic, it's like they're using the pandemic to get this through. And what appalled me was that in the Daily Mail they were saying that that you're the bad guys for causing this dispute during a pandemic. Well, you didn't cause it. You didn't start changing the rules. It was them. So, that's it's for the Daily Mail.
It's one phone call. We'll be back to this snotty. Crispin, you'll be happy. My son will be happy. It's actually snowing in Bromley. But we don't want to be sat tomorrow. We're on strike. We don't want to be stood on a picket line. We want to be servicing our customers.
Yeah.
The biggest change I think that it's really hard to swallow. And as a customer, we need their support. Our role is a safety critical role. When we go into that customer's house, we are taking responsibility of that boiler. British Gas's new terms want us to increase output. How can you increase output without cutting somewhere, whether it be the quality of the job, the experience, the chit chat with the customer, or do you cut corners through safety? We're not willing to do that. They want an increase of 1 to 2 jobs a day. We already do 6 to 8 on average, so now they're looking at between 9, 10 jobs a day.
That's disgraceful. I mean, in my day job, I'm actually working with operatives who, plumbers and plasterers and stuff, and they're going out to jobs. And I just think you're all heroes. You're all heroes because you're going into properties, risking getting COVID. You're obviously you're following the safety measures, but at the end of the day, you're frontline workers, and there is an element of risk that you could be risking your life, literally, to be doing this. And also, I presume that, like our workers, that you would be wearing the PPE, and if you've got to go to one job a day, that's one lot of PPE. But if you've got to do 4 or 5, you've got to put that PPE on, do the job, come out, take that all off, put it in a double plastic bag, and then put another lot on for the next job. Now, if to increase your productivity under a pandemic, how on earth are you going to do that? Wearing PPE and changing it and doing the sanitising and all of that is physical impossibility.
So what,
surely.
in the first lockdown, what we've done is in teams, we worked out who was going to go into COVID houses. So if someone was isolating, we had a team of engineers that were doing that. What then transpired is Rob Harris, who's one of the senior leadership team, come out and said to all the engineers, it is non-negotiable going into COVID houses. You are expected to go into COVID houses. He used the phrase non-negotiable.
But you have to, each worker has to have a risk assessment, don't you?
That's it. So we can risk assess if we go into a house that is possibly contaminated with mice infestation or rat infestation. We're allowed to refuse to go into that. But we're not allowed to now refuse to go into COVID houses.
Oh my goodness, that's absolutely shocking.
Now, none of us.
We haven't got a lot of time, but I do want to squeeze a couple of things in, because what's really important here today is that we can help you in some way. But before we do that, you did send me some pictures of you on pick lines and stuff, and I'm going to attempt to share my screen. So let's hope this bit of technology goes okay, because I do want to share a couple of the pictures that you sent to me whilst we're talking. So let's see if I can get. Let me see if I can get that one. So, can everybody see this picture?
Not yet.
No, you still can't see it?
Yeah, it's there now, yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. So this is you, and what's the name of this little man?
That's my little boy, Freddie, who's been chomping at the bit to come down and hold it. He loves it, hearing the cars boot and the policemen do their blue lights for us.
Yeah. Okay. And isn't he great? Well, aren't you giving him a fantastic education? There's one more that I want to share, which if I can find it. Oh, let me see. Well, now I don't know what I've done. One sec. Screen sharing has stopped. Right. Okay. One sec. I'm just going to try again, because the next one is my favourite one that you sent me, and this one is something everyone should see. Okay, so can we all see this picture here? And that is just so poignant to me, because when people ask why you on strike, this is the answer. This is your kid saying, don't take our family time. And at the end of the day, that is what this new contract will mean for your little boy, Freddie. He'll have less time with his daddy. And I just think that that's absolutely outrageous. I think it's disgusting. And I just wanted to hear from you how it's affected your family, this strike.
Before Christmas, me and my wife sat down. She hates the fact that I'm so vocal, and it's not just me. There's loads of us. We're all in this together. But I made a conscious decision that I'm going to fight for what I believe is right. And if my P45 comes on Monday morning, my P45 comes on Monday morning. If I want to fight kicking and screaming, it's this job I thought was a job for life. 16 years I've been with British Gas. I've had 4 terms and condition changes, 5 pension changes in that time. I've had probably 4 or 5 CEOs, 4 or 5 MDs of British Gas, all taking handsome salaries. I want to do the job. My job hasn't changed. My job is to fix boilers.
Yeah.
I agreed to working more hours a couple of years ago. We do 45 hours in the winter. We agreed to doing more Saturdays a couple of years ago. We do that. We do more lates. We understand that customers want us when they need us. But working 156 hours extra, a whole month's worth of work for nothing, as on top of the reduced holidays, a bonus scheme. So I've even mentioned this. We've got a bonus scheme that's being proposed that I could actually owe the company hours and be forced to work them for nothing at a weekend. And if I don't, I'm then put into a disciplinary procedure because I'm not producing the output that some bean counter has said that I should be able to do that in that time, who's never touched a tool in his life.
Yeah. Oh God, that to me was the bit that jumped out at me as well. The idea that that you would end up owing them time because you haven't done enough jobs in one day, and that you have to give that time for free at the weekend. It's like coming out of a Dickens novel. I can't believe it.
The emphasis there is where do you cut? We're a safety critical role.
Well, when you've got those 4 blokes at the top, well, 1 woman and 3 blokes, earning 37 million, I worked it out. I was thinking, well, why can't they just all take a couple of million cut? Just a couple of million, and that would pay for these apprenticeships that the British Gas are going to do.
Libby, we're not losing money. We made 27% more profit in the first 6 months of 2020.
Yeah.
This would be a completely different conversation if British Gas were hemorrhaging money.
Yeah. So hence it does seem that the timing is rather suspicious and they're deliberately doing this under the pandemic. Listen, we've run out of our time slot, I'm afraid.
So just one quick thing. What our biggest worry is this won't be the first. If British Gas get away with this fiery hire, it will be everyone else's jobs next. We already heard that the Manchester bus drivers are now facing fiery hire. Yeah. So we need everyone. I know you're going to put the message out for us, but hashtag stop the British Gas fire.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. It's it was like, well, if Thatcher went for the miners, she thought she could smash the miners, then that'd be the end of all trade unions. And if they're picking on you, and like you say, if you don't put up a fight and we don't show you solidarity, and you lose because we don't show you solidarity, then there's more people going to be picked off. So I want to share our solidarity of Labour grassroots with you. I haven't worked out how to unmute everybody, which was the whole point of Crispin making me the host, so that I could do that, and I can't work it out. But I know everyone on this programme wants to send you solidarity, and we're all going to raise a fist of solidarity to you. We are going to, in our next email, I can see everyone putting their fists up, and we are going to, in the next email, we're going to send the link to where we can donate to your strike fund. So I'm sure everybody on this call will want to donate to your strike fund. It's incredible how many people think that strikers get paid. Obviously, probably not anyone on this call, but that is what the general public think. And we need to change that perception. If we're going to win hearts and minds of the general public, we need them to know you don't get paid when you're striking. And that's the sacrifice you make. So we're going to share that link with everybody in our next email to make sure we help and contribute towards your strike fund, okay? Solidarity, brother, solidarity.
Can you email your MPs as well? Share the link for that, please.
Absolutely. We'll share that one too. No problem.
Thank you.